Hey, what's up, guys? About 2,300 years ago, the famous emperor Han Gaozu led his army and defeated the cruel Qian emperor. Han Gaozu formed Han Chao, the second dynasty in China's history. It has been 400 years now, and leaders have been becoming more corrupt or they were too young to rule China. As young as 2 years old have no idea what is happening in the outside of their palace, and corrupt leaders that has been taking money away from the peasants that has been working in the field for days and does not have any more food to eat. While all the people are starving, the government decided to not do anything about it. When the disasters came, the government didn't do anything. When there was a drought somewhere, the government didn't do anything. They didn't care about the people. They only cared about themselves. For now, every single person was suffering. The government didn't care about them. Something had to be done. So 3 people by the name of Zhang Liao, Zhang Bao, and Zhang Jiao decided to lead 1 million people to fight the government. This will be one of the biggest rebellions in history of mankind, the Wang Rebellion, mounting almost 1 million people that started rebelling against the government. SOS! SOS! We cannot stand this rebellion anymore. We need help from you guys. Please, come quickly. The government were beaten up so badly that they were forced to call in independent warlords from different nations across China. In Hebei, the government introduced conscription. There was a lot of people who surrounded this poster regarding about recruiting people to fight off the Huangjinjun rebellion. There's this one man in the big crowd that you can never miss. His name is Liu Bei, Liu Xuande. Liu Bei is a descendant of the Han Emperor. His earlobes are so big that it can reach his shoulders. His arms are so long that his hands can reach his knees without even bending. Liu Bei sighed and said, I wish I could go out and fight those rebels. But then suddenly, somebody tapped Liu Bei on the back and said,
Hey, what are you sighing about?
Liu Bei turned back and saw this big tower. He was stunned a little bit, as if someone has poured cold water onto his face. But then he cleared his eyes and saw this big person towering almost everyone, and he asked Liu Bei, What are you sighing about? Liu Bei said, I just wish I could go out with the army and fight those rebels, but I don't have a chance. That person laughed, and then he said, What are you sighing about? I mean, I can take you with me to go fight those rebels if you want. Liu Bei was really happy. He said, Really? Oh, okay. What is your name? The other person said, My name is Zhang Fei, Zhang Yide. Zhang Fei is pretty rich, so he has a big house. He took Liu Bei to his house and then showed him around. Liu Bei was pretty astonished because he and his mother only sew shoes together to make up living. One day, when Zhang Fei took Liu Bei out to eat breakfast at a restaurant, they met this person who was almost 7 foot tall. He was wearing green robes. He had eyebrows so thick that you cannot see through them. He has mustache that has 5 long threads, and his eyes goes upward at the end. That person went over to the counter and asked the waitress to order him 5 pounds of meat, and then later he said, So I can go out and fight those rebels. When Liu Bei and Zhang Fei heard this, they called him over and asked him what was his name. The 3 people introduced themselves. That person said his name was Guan Yunchang. Then they started talking about their plans how to defeat the Huangjinjun rebellion. After sharing their ideas, Zhang Fei, Liu Bei, and Guan Yu were pretty surprised on finding out that they all had the same ideas. Zhang Fei said, Since we share common goals, why don't we go to my peach garden We will go through the fraternity ritual to become bonded as brothers. They all agreed. So the next day, Guan Yu and Liu Bei went to Zhang Fei's house and headed to the peach garden. When they arrived, Zhang Fei has already set up the ritual and prepared the meat wine on the table. There was 3 candles in the middle of the table, waiting for Zhang Fei, Guan Yu, and Liu Bei to blow them out so they become brothers. But before that, they were on their knees, each holding a candle while swearing to the heaven. We were not born on the same day, but we wish to die on the same day. After this, these 3 people went on and destroyed the Huang Jinjun rebellion with many other people. And that was the end of this chapter. Seven foot, 7 foot, 7 foot, 7 foot.
我又是说什么像了吗？
Oh yeah, true. One day, Zhang Fei and Liu Bei went to this restaurant to have a breakfast together. And then suddenly, somebody came in. He was really tall. He was wearing green dress and never mind. One day, when Zhang Fei took Liu Bei out to go to a restaurant to eat breakfast, they met this man who was at least 8 inches tall, and he was approximately several days later. One day, when Zhang Fei took Liu Bei out to go to a restaurant to eat breakfast, a big man, he was tall, like 8 inches. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun doing this. It did take a lot of time and patience to do this, so hope you hit the like button. If even better, you can hit the subscribe button. The end. Bye.